Man, I'm from North Lawndale. Beautiful to us, some call it hell. I'm from Lawndale. You gotta be smart, not talking Yale. Straight out of Lawndale. Holy City to Cape Town, we yell lock it on the blocks whenever police come around. Cause I'm from Lawndale. That's independence, one tray, straight out of Lawndale. You better be all that you portray, cause this is Lawndale. GDs, Breeze, and Vice Lords, keep it on you when you walk around that 24th Ward. Cause we from Lawndale. Every single soul got a story. Straight out of Lawndale. Feel like every single soul falls short of glory. Cause this is Lawndale. Home of George's music room. Sliding up and down Roosevelt and Navino going boom. Cause we from Lawndale. A whole lot of RIPs, man, this is Lawndale. Just when we all gonna see that we from Lawndale. Way we living just can't be, man. I look just like you and you look just like me. And we from Lawndale.
Chicago, a city of hustle, history, and heart, where the skyline kisses the lake and every block got a story to tell. 77 neighborhoods deep, each one bold, loud, and alive. But one of them hits different. North Lawndale, a place built on resilience, rhythm, artistry, and survival. A neighborhood that's been slept on, but never silent. Our Lawndale Stories is a short documentary that isn't just about where we're from, it's about who we are. The voices of the West Side, past, present, and future, finally taking the mic. Growing up out west, leisure was never local. I had to leave my hood to find it. So what does access really mean for me? For us? But before we answer that, let me tell you where this all began. A handful of creative Lawndale souls came together one night with an idea. Storytelling, oral history, and connection. Simple, right? But that night planted something. We heard from legends like Bobby Steele, former Cook County Commissioner, who shared how she was denied apartments because she had kids. So she flipped the script and bought a fixer-upper on 16th and Springfield with $250 down. Only to find out it was a contract sell. Predatory lending at its finest, a system built to keep black folks locked out of ownership and opportunity. Then came Mr. Nate Pendleton, paperboy, mailman, soul train singer, and peacemaker in a world that didn't make it easy to stay peaceful.
I was raised on a farm in Louisiana. I was oldest of 10 kids. I'd been in the military and I traveled around the country. I'd worked for major corporations. Lived in a lot of different cities. But when I got to Lawndale, it was the most unique community I'd ever experienced in my life. I liked the camaraderie, the unity, the harmony among the people in the community. And most of all, since I had been a multicultural pastor, the community was multicultural. So that just warmed my heart and I loved it. And I immediately blended in and connected and bonded.
And Reverend Steve Braxton, a man of faith who reminded us that even broken ground can grow something beautiful. That room was heavy with truth, but full of pride. Stories of 16th Street, from Kedzie to Pulaski, lined with black-owned businesses, music spilling from every doorway, the air thick with life. That stuck with me. I remember going home that night, Googling pictures of my neighborhood, hoping to see what they described. But what I found didn't match what I felt. That's when the question hit me. What happened to all that vibrancy? Why didn't it come back? They say it was the riots after Dr. King's assassination, but Chicago rebuilt after the Great Fire. So why not us? Why not Lawndale? Why not the West Side?
I was born and raised here in 1959. And I ain't going nowhere until they take me out in a box. And I do teach young people when I can about the history and the importance of knowing where you came from so you will know where you're going.
I think there's power in creating also. They set us up to fight. We fight with each other. But if we was to create together, come on, man. In the beginning, God
Created.
I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm gonna be in line.
So I would say, that's why young boys rising, the system can't defeat. We on that Tupac road from the concrete. We won't be sorry about it like garbage. Faithful husband mindset, we not on Mari.
The development happening in North Lawndale is real, and it's not to go unnoticed. Healthcare centers, fitness spaces, homeowners investing back into the block, and small businesses holding it down. These are all essential pieces of a thriving community. But from my experience, there's still something that doesn't always get the same shine. Art. Yeah, the murals are beautiful, painted stories across brick walls, and a few dedicated nonprofits are creating safe spaces for people of all ages to express themselves. One of them, the Chicago Urban Art Retreat Center, turns a small two-flat into a hub for creativity, where storytelling comes alive through painting, talking, and writing. Artist Kat Roberts, whose work hangs in that space, said it best. No one's ever really been guaranteed an opportunity as an artist. And that right there, that's why we tell our stories. Music is art. It's rhythm painted on air, the sound of our stories when words ain't enough. It speaks the language of struggle and celebration, of pain and pride. Out west, music has always been more than background noise. It's been survival, expression, therapy, and joy all in one. Every beat, every verse, every chord is a brushstroke on the canvas of our community. Just like murals on brick walls, music colors our culture, reminding us that art isn't limited to what you see. It's what you feel.
Music done saved my life, man. If it wasn't for music, I can't even lie, I wouldn't even really be here. You know, music is literally my therapy. And, you know, it's been such a blessing, even just to pick up this instrument and to pick up the instruments that I do play.
So many things have been taken away from our communities, regardless if it's funding, if it's mom and pop shop, music shops and things like that, like such as George's Music Room. If it wasn't for those resources and those spaces like George's Music Room, where I was privileged and able enough to see my first concert, rap hip hop concert, DMX performed on Roosevelt Road, had it packed out, and I remember how that made me feel as a young kid. And it made me motivated, very motivated to start my own artistry career. And without those spaces, without that memory and that motivation during the time, I don't know where I would have been, you know, or how my spark would have came about.
And I really think the arts are so important at building community, bringing us together, and really making Chicago a great city for everybody.
This is our first one, and it's hoping to be many, many more of these. So we're learning a lot as we go. We've made so many amazing connections to people because of this festival.
Sí, señor. Ah.
Everyone believes that you got to go up north. Like all the gigs are up north, and all the rehearsal spaces and stuff are up north, and a lot of studio spaces are up north, and how there's not enough spaces on the west side, even on the south side, for creatives to be able to perform, and there's not enough venues and studios on those sides. So it's always interesting to see that, and that's something I'd honestly like to see change.
We've heard some incredible stories about community, creativity, and the spaces that help us breathe again. Stories that remind us that leisure isn't luxury, it's life. North Lawndale is growing, shifting, rebuilding, but what keeps it alive is the art, the people, and the rhythm of the West Side. So I hope you'll join us for part 2, as we dive even deeper into the voices of residents, businesses, musicians, and creatives representing the best side, the West Side. Stay tuned, and until next time, I'll leave you with this. When we create together, we build more than art. We build belonging.
Understanding the political machinery that governs our communities. You know, we need to educate ourselves on the electoral process. Will that solve all the problems? No.
Need some gym shoes to go with this fit. They just don't get it. Boy, they just don't get it. The lingo's different. I'm so CHICA go. We so live. My pops not being around was a blessing in disguise. The gardens look so well, man. It taught me how to rock. I was feeling like a junkie, but I never had the